Computer Kid 1416 here, and tonight I'm going to be showing off my new Windows XP build. Now, originally I was going to put a AMD FX based board in this machine that I got for free from a friend, but it ended up not working. The board he gave me was dead, so instead I decided to switch it out with a Intel Core 2 quad based board. This is a Intel DQ45CB. So, and like I said, it's an Intel Core 2 quad running at 2.8 GHz. So it's something a little more era appropriate for XP, I think. And yeah, like I said, it's going to be my main XP machine / Linux machine. Now, this may not be, you may not think it's quite powerful enough for Linux, but this is going to be my main machine or anything. Obviously, it's just going to be something to play around with Linux with, and I'm mostly going to use it for XP, but you know, I might play around with Linux a little bit too. So anyway, I would have done the build on camera, but like I said, because I had to change a board at the last minute, that's why I didn't end up doing that. So you can see, it's hard to see it, but I've got 4 gigs of RAM in there. I've got a NVIDIA GeForce, drawing a blank at the moment, but it's a really, really nice video card that I used in my previous XP build. By the way, most of these parts come from my previous build, the Dell Optiplex 755 that I had XP on before. But I figured it was time to have a little more custom built machine, so that's why I decided to build this machine. But anyway, yep. So you got 2 SSDs in here, which again are hard to see. They're in there. One I'm going to use for XP, like I said, and one for Linux. And I guess that's about all I'll say about the machine itself. The cable management isn't the best, but that's because of this case. This case, by the way, despite the cable management, it is a very nice case. It's an Antec mini tower case that I got off Amazon. Again, a really, really nice case. I highly recommend this. I'll put that as well as the name of the graphic card so you guys will know what those are. But yeah, so anyway, let's go ahead, and I haven't turned it on yet or anything, so I'm hoping I got everything in here right. So let me go ahead and do that now. Just real quick, I figure some of you guys would want to see what the I/O looks like, so there you go. It's got built-in VGA and DVI, but of course I've got my own video card. Plenty of USB and Ethernet, audio, and then this is the video card, which I love because it has HDMI, so it'll work with my main monitor that I have KVM'd with it. So anyway, let's go ahead and try this on and try powering it up and install Windows XP. Alright, I got it hooked up here next to my main machine, and I mentioned it was KVM'd with my main machine, but unfortunately the drivers are needed, so for now I've temporarily got some peripherals hooked up. Also, unfortunately the front panel USB is USB 3 only, which means I'm going to have to buy an adapter for USB 3 to USB 2, but no big deal, I'll just use the back ports for now. But anyway, let's put the camera on the tripod and try it out. One second here. Just closing out all my programs so they don't come up on the camera. But anyway, yep, so here's my main machine desktop. So now, let's try booting the machine up. And I'll get a better camera angle for when I start showing off the software and stuff, but this is just mainly just to try it out. So, and nothing. Probably an issue with the front panel connectors or something, so let me check on that and I'll be right back. Alright, so it was the front panel connector, so now let's try this again. It would help if I connected the power connector. Okay, there we go. Now let's change the input here. There we go. I didn't actually turn it on. It just kicked on for a second when I plugged the power plug in. And there we go, guys. So GeForce GG610. That's what I was looking for. And it's got a built-in beeper, apparently. I wonder if more fans are missing or have failed. Okay, well, I don't know what that was all about, but it's going to let me get past that, so. Well, that's great that we got this far. Let me go get my XP disk real quick and we'll install XP. Alright, I got my XP disk, and we're also in the BIOS here. Show some things off real quick. So, we've got, like I said, 2.83 gigahertz processor, 4 gigs of RAM. I don't know what that fan error was earlier. I'll have to check to see if that's installed correctly. Date and time's correct. Let's make sure we get our boot order correct. We do actually, so usually that's not right by default, but... Alright, well that's about it. Now we can boot into XP, I guess. Now I'm not going to go through the whole setup process on camera. I've done that a million times, but I'm just going to get it started here and then change the input again. Get it started here and then come back when all my software and everything's installed. See if it boots into the disk by default. Yep, it does. I'm also going to install Linux too off camera. I won't show that off as much in this video. There won't be as much to say about that, but mainly I want to focus on the XP part because that's my main reason for building this. That should be coming up here in a second. Okay, there we go. So, looks like this SSD has a partition on it, so we'll delete that. And it doesn't really matter which one I choose for XP. I guess... Well, it does matter because they're both different sizes. I thought they were about the same size, but anyway, that's fine. Really 114 gigabytes is fine for Linux, just what I'm going to do with it. So definitely the 228 I'll use for XP. And I guess it's going to be about it for this part. I don't want to go through the whole setup on camera, but anyway, I'll be back when my settings and my programs and games are installed. So, yep, I'll be back then. Alright guys, well this may not be the best camera angle in the world, but I figure it's the best I can do where I can still sit down and use my peripherals, and also so I can get the full screen in the shot. So, again, I'd love to get some kind of capture card set up or something sometime, but for now this is what I have to do. So, anyway, let's go ahead and fire up the machine. You're looking at my main desktop right now. And I guess start out with the Linux partition. Now, like I said earlier, I don't plan on using the Linux partition much at all, but I figured, I had a spare SSD, so I figured I might as well throw it on there. So, as soon as I can, I'm going to hit F10 here to change the input, the boot drive that is. There we go. It's this one here, the 120. Now I could have used Grub to select it every time without having to hit F10, but I kind of don't like that menu coming up every time because I use Windows XP 95% of the time, so I figure I might as well just, if I do want to use Linux, I can just hit F10 real fast. But otherwise, it's just on here just to experiment with, I guess. I really do want to kind of familiarize myself more with Linux, but if I'm going to do that, I think I'm going to probably throw it on a laptop, like a secondary laptop that I can then play around with a little bit more. But anyway, let's put my password in here, and then, yep, so just thought I'd show this off real quick for those of you who want to see it. I upgrade later. Again, I have hardly anything on here, just my basic programs that I put on Linux. I put Code Simulator on there just to try out a game. It actually works decently on here. It's one of the, I think it's the only Steam game I have that's compatible with Linux as well. Yep. Nothing fancy at all. Just a basic Ubuntu Mate install. So anyway, let's get out of that, I guess, and we will boot into Windows XP, which is going to be the main subject of this video. Because that was my main purpose in building this machine in the first place, was to have a more proper Windows XP machine. And I should have hit restart. I don't know why I hit shut down there. I guess force of habit. I don't remember shutting it off properly, but apparently I did. Yeah, so this is Windows XP Professional as with the unofficial Service Pack 4. I thought about putting Media Center Edition on here, but number one, I don't use the actual Media Center program. I mainly just like the theming on it, which of course you can download for other versions of XP, which I have done. So I figured Professional is much safer. It's just a little easier to set up. You don't have to activate it or anything. So with the ISO I have for it. So anyway, this is Windows XP running at 1920 by 1080. This monitor is 1440p, but XP, or at least this video card, doesn't support it. As you can see, I'm using a program called CyberBuddy, which is kind of an interesting little program. It basically takes Bonsai Buddy and some other Microsoft assistants, and basically it's a legitimate version of that, whereas CyberBuddy was notoriously a spyware program. So it's kind of a neat little way to play around with CyberBuddy without all the spyware stuff. So I wish that thing wouldn't pop up every time though. It's kind of annoying, but anyway, let me demonstrate that real quick actually. Check the sound up a little bit too. I don't know how well you guys can hear that. Okay. As you can see, I got the Media Center theme on here, which, so when I've talked about this before, but I use Windows XP as my main operating system from 2004 all the way until, well, 2007 when I got my Dell Dimension E521. And for the first probably year or so, I just used the plain old XP theme. But after that, let me get my cat out of the way here. Sorry, he's about to block the camera. Anyway, you know how cats are. But anyway, so yeah, so about first year, so I just used the regular Luna theme. But then after that, I discovered it on my aunt's computer actually, the Media Center theme. And I've never used Media Center Edition as my main operating system or anything, but I just discovered the theme and I really liked it, so I used it ever since. So that's what I tend to use on XP nowadays. And I don't know why CyberBuddy's being... Well, even after restarting, I'm having trouble getting CyberBuddy to work, so whatever, it's not worth messing around with much more. So if you guys want to see that, I'm sure there are other people on YouTube that have done videos about that. But anyway, so let me show you guys what all I have installed on here, and then we will show off some games. So this was pretty much my late childhood into my preteen years were all in XP era, so there are a lot of games that I grew up with that I have on here. I'll show off in a little bit, but so anyway, I've got Damien tools for ISO mounting. Got my KVM switch software there, not there, here. It's a KVM software. Again, a lot of games. 7-zip. More games. and even more games. And I skipped over, I also have Office 2003 on here. So yeah, so I guess let me go into Device Manager, show everything there. As you can see, the unofficial Service Pack 4. Well, it says version 2014, that means it's the Service Pack 4. Yep, just give you guys a feel for the hardware. Of course, I showed this earlier, though. Yeah, very nice setup for XP. I mean, if you wanted a kind of a ultimate XP machine back in the day, this would have been the way to go. Unfortunately, I was running XP on a Dell Dimension 4100, which, you know, ran it decently enough, especially for being just a kid, but, you know, like I said, if you were actually using this on your main machine back in the day, you would have wanted something like a Core 2 Duo or a Core 2 Quad. Anyway, alright, well I guess I can't think of anything else to show off anything else except just the rest showing off games, so let's go ahead and show off some games. So, if you aren't interested in seeing me play any games, you can actually end the video here. I don't have anything else to show, but if you're interested in me showing... Oh, okay, just as I'm saying that.
Today is Friday, May 8th. Looks like a great day.
I just realized the time hasn't been reset for Linux time, so I applied a fix to have it not do that, but unfortunately it does not seem to work, so I guess I just have to manually reset it every time. I thought that reset automatically, but I guess not. I thought this timed out window still worked, but maybe not. So let's see, what time is it actually? It is, looks like 5 till 2, so... Oh, it actually changed by itself, okay. That clock I was looking at on the other side of the room was a little off, so it's actually 1:45. Alright, so, yep, so like I said, well, let me show off this everybody real quick before I get to some games. So, yeah, just kind of a little, nothing special, just kind of something to play around with, I guess. So, he's supposed to read you the news, but it doesn't seem to work anymore, and you'll see in a minute.
Hey, Graham here is the latest news. Top stories. Growth seeks source of carbon dioxide.
He's been saying that same thing to me ever since I built... Let me make him quiet a minute. He's been saying that same news report to me ever since I built the machine, so I'm assuming that that's an old news report from maybe 5 years ago or however long ago that it stopped getting that information, so yeah, I'm assuming that just doesn't work anymore. And then when you hit weather, it doesn't even work at all.
Weather report coming up. Sorry, Grim, I could not get the weather report.
Yeah, see, it
I will try later.
Doesn't even attempt to get that. How do you get to the options? I'm trying to remember. Oh, there we go, okay. So, yep, so everybody, copyright 2012, so maybe that's around then, maybe they stopped doing the news updates, apparently. So, again, it's supposed to do news and weather, but it does not anymore. You can do reminders. I actually remember using this program or something very similar back in the day. I took a speech class in elementary school, and we used, again, something very similar, if not exactly the same thing. It had the same parrot assistant, and we used the text-to-speech tool to learn pronunciations of things. So, very cool. It's got instant messaging integration, apparently. I don't know how that works exactly. Email, stocks. And then, real quick, let me see if I can change the character here. So, as you can see, it's got all these different characters. Like I said, PD is what we used in that class, but, of course, the famous Bonzi is there, too.
Hello, Grim. I am Bonzi.
This does not come with CyberBuddy. You have to download this assistant separately. But, yeah, so now you can have Bonzi Buddy without all the spyware. So that's kind of neat. Anyway, so again, if you if you could stop talking now. Again, if you don't care about me playing games, you can end the video here, but for those who are interested, I'm going to go ahead and show off a few games. Well, I got about 10 minutes into the video, 10 more minutes into the video, and realized the camera cut out. My DSLR cuts out after 10 minutes automatically, so let's try this again. So I'm going to show off a few games here. Now, if you aren't interested in me showing off games, then I'm done with the video. You can leave, but otherwise I'm going to show off a few games here. So, starting out with a game that my aunt was absolutely obsessed with around 2005, 2006-ish. On that same computer I was talking about that I discovered the Media Center theme from. Yeah, she was absolutely obsessed with this game, and I picked it up from her as well. And that is Snood. I believe this version I'm playing here is from like 2011-ish, but like I said, she played that a lot earlier. So, let's do easy. Yeah, it's basically Puzzle Bobble, and it's a pretty fun game. Hope you guys can hear that okay. Let me turn the sound up just a little bit. Okay, there we go. Okay, that's enough for that. Let me kill myself so you guys can see what happens when you die. I thought that was kind of cool. Yeah, so that's Snood for you. Now, I thought about showing off Sims 2, but you know what? I don't want to be here for 4 hours. I can get pretty into that game, so I think what I might do is later on, because like I said, a lot of these games are from my childhood, so I thought about doing like a showcase video of all the kind of some of the games I grew up with on this machine, so, and that will be a lot longer of a video, so until then I'll just kind of stick to the basics here. Again, same with Roller Coaster Tycoon, I could play that for hours. Jet Fighter, I don't have a joystick set up right now, so I won't show that yet. SpongeBob, I'm worried about copyright. Let's show off something interesting. I don't know if you can really call this a game or not, but this is the 3D Game Maker. If any of you guys are familiar with Dark Basic, the programming language. Oh, it's loud. I need to turn that down, sorry. Anyways, I was saying, if you guys are familiar with Dark Basic, the programming language, it's made by a company called The Game Creators, and they also made this, the 3D Game Maker. And basically, it's based on the same engine, but basically it's a click and drag type thing that allows you to make your own, as it says, 3D games. So, as a kid, around age, I'd say around 11, 12, I was really into making my own games, making my own websites, that sort of thing. And a friend of mine and I even made a little pseudo company out of it. So, like I said, I took a few summer camps at the time, and like I said, I got really into kind of making my own games, websites, etc. So, this is one of the ones that I started out learning on. I never did get any deeper, like in the programming and stuff, but I think the most advanced I ever got was another program that I could show off sometime called Multimedia Fusion, which is also click and drag, but it's a little more advanced. And yeah, so I made a few games on there as well. But anyway, try to turn the sound down a little bit. So now let's show this off. We'll do standard mode, I guess. Let's make a game. So, you know, obviously being click and drag, it's very simple. You just got basic options here. You gotta choose your backdrop. Let's do, this level's kind of cool, kind of Star Wars-ish. Okay then, well, I guess that didn't work. Let's try again. I did actually get Dark Basic one time because I wanted to learn it, but I never, like I said, I never could really get into it. I was never really a programming person. Anyway, let's try this again. So, choose that level there. And it's kind of cool, that button there lets you kind of trial it without even going into the full screen. That's what the level looks like. Very neat. So we'll go to our player. So I guess we want to stick to the space theme. You know what? Let's not. Let's mix it up a little bit. Let's do. I kind of like this tomato guy for some reason. So, yep, that's kind of neat there. So, what kind of bullets is he gonna use? Tomato would be too obvious. Let's do just something random. Let's do this bullet with a hat. Alright, so next we're going to select the enemies. I don't remember, I think you can select more than one enemy. I think that makes sense. Now let's stick to the kind of silly theme. Let's do a Mighty Gnasher. Let's do a Bumblebee. Okay, so you can't select more than one. Let's do a Happy Worm. And finally, let's do an Evil Kid. Kind of looks like Pinocchio or something, but anyway. Enemy bullets. Because this is all very random, let's do pumpkin. Because why not? Okay, so obstacles, let's do... again, it's just kind of messing around. Let's do... piano. Cactus, I guess. Apparently you could download some from the web. I don't think I ever did that. I don't know why I'm not just choosing something random. I guess wire fence, energy ring, and let's do, I don't know, toxic cube. Okay, so that's good enough. So now we need an end boss. So let's do Mr. Goo. I was kind of like that one back in. I used to use that a lot. You know what? Let's have a balloon dog. Why not? So let's see. So for the items, let's do. Of course, you gotta get some life, but a heart would be too simple. So let's do something a little less obvious. First of all, let's get points, like this teddy bear, why not? I might as well just do the heart, I guess. Speed. And strength. Okay, that's good enough, so the objectives are to complete the level. Not necessarily to kill all the enemies, but I mean, for someone like me who was kind of wanting to get into game development, this is kind of a really neat concept. I mean, it really kind of walks you through everything, and it gives you all these different options. Like, you can have different objectives, and you can make the level longer. You can have a time limit. It's actually pretty advanced for what it was. So anyway, that's good though for now. Difficulty. Just keep it as it is, I guess. We don't need a second player right now. Volume is fine. Like I said, for something that's made for kids, very advanced actually. Let's change the backdrop to. You can't preview? Oh, I guess you can't preview it, okay. We'll just have to choose one then. Oh, that's fine, I guess. Title, let's call it Tomato Adventure. Alright, just why not? Author. Okay. Description. I won't forward that right now. You can even add an intro FMV. Like I said, very, very advanced actually for what it was. I'll change the color to red, I guess. That's kind of cool. And you can actually save as a standalone game. I don't know if that works. I know I'll try to show later some of the games I made, but I couldn't, you know, I kind of couldn't get them to work when I tried the other day, so I don't know why that is, because I made them on XP back in the day, but anyway, for now we'll just play it from the program here. Sorry, it's kind of loud. That's fine now, it got a little quieter. I think it's control to shoot, yep. So it's the bullet with the hat, but you can't really see it. No, I guess it's one. The graphics are actually pretty decent for the time. I think I'll have to look in a minute. I think there was even like a map editor where you could map everything out, but yeah. By default, it just kind of did the basics. Is there a jump? Yeah, there is a jump. Shit. It's pretty easy. If I were doing this for real, I would turn up the difficulty quite a bit. It's just a demonstration, of course. And there's Mr. Juke. You see there's a health bar at the top there. And he is pretty much the easiest enemy ever. You just mash the button and you win. And I think it automatically ends when you get to the end here. Yep. And it's even got a little leaderboard thing built in, so. Funny, it says press any key to exit, but you can only hit the space bar. But anyway, like I said, very, very cool little tool, and I used to really, really enjoy this back in the day. So real quick before I leave, I just want to see if there's a way to do like a map editor. I thought there was, but maybe I'm wrong. Not gonna play around with this too much more, but I'm just curious. Okay, so I didn't even notice these options. So you can preview all those. You can modify the sounds and textures, which is really advanced actually. As I said. Okay, so if I go here. Okay, it doesn't look like, unless I'm wrong, unless I'm missing something, it doesn't look like you can do like a map editor. So maybe there's not, but still though, I mean this is a very, very advanced tool for its time. And for something that was designed for kids, it's actually was really, really fun to be able to actually make your own games. So anyway, let's get out of here, I guess. But yeah, just thought I'd show that off. So what's next? What do we want to do next? So, let's see. This is kind of cool. I wish I could find the full version of this because I've never managed to find it, but this is something cool that I used to play the demo of back in the day. This is TLK Games 3D Pinball Unlimited. Let's just do the windowed version. The website actually still listed for sale for like $10, I think. The website listed for sale for like $10, I think, and I actually tried to buy it, but the website wouldn't let me. It just crashed, so man, it's not for sale anymore. I mean, it is technically, but like, I guess the website just doesn't work anymore. Music brings back a lot of memories. I used to play this game a lot. I think it's spacebar to... No, apparently not. Oh, it's the back key. Okay. The down arrow, I mean. So, how do I do the... I didn't remember how to do the options here. Oh, okay, that's why. I need to change that. Alright, now we can go back. Again, pretty good graphics for the time. Getting a good, giving this graphics card a good test here. I've always been a big pinball fan. I've never been good at it like I am at arcade games. I'm much better at arcade games, but I do enjoy playing pinball anyway. I know this is kind of obscure, but if anyone happens to know how to get access to the full version of this game, I would greatly appreciate it. I would love to try some of the other tapes. Alright, that's enough of that, I guess. Yeah, see, it tells you how to order it, but like I said, it does not seem to work for me. Alright, so let's do, and I have to remember to turn the camera off and on every few minutes. But, trying to avoid the Tycoon games for the most part, but just because of the length of them, but I might show off one in a minute here. Last thing, maybe. Let's see. As you can tell, I was a huge fan of simulation games back in the day, and I still am to this day, but nowadays it's more about, like, Sims, I guess. And I do play Planet Coaster every now and then, too. I've shown that before, so I don't need to show that again. William and Graham Games, that's the company my friend and I made. I'm still friends with him, actually, which is kind of neat. Let's see. Let's show off this. This is kind of interesting. I got this, I believe, as a birthday gift. It's called 1200 Games XP Championship. It's basically a collection of several Flash games. And I lost the second disc, so you can say I only have, I guess, 666 of them. So the other half was on the other disc, but, yep, so, let's just show this one, I guess. So you can see they're all kind of similar, they kind of repeat, but, I guess nowadays you'd call it shovelware, you know, just kind of like a little way to make a little money on this company's part. Just throw together a bunch of simple games, and there you go. This is, I guess, Space Invaders. A very easy version of Space Invaders. This is basically Brick Breaker. I mentioned I played around with Multimedia Fusion some, which basically was click and drag as well, but it was for 2D games. And I made a Brick Breaker game that I might show off later. Because I took a summer camp, actually, and we learned how to make games on it, on that program, so, yep, I made a Brick Breaker. I guess we will show off a Tycoon game just because I feel like that's all that's left. I was going to show off my Brick Breaker game. Is it on here, though? It may not be on here. I'll have to show that off later. But, let's do something different. Let's do Zoo Tycoon. Zoo Tycoon 2, that is. This is the Ultimate Collection. with all the expansion packs. I'm going to turn the sound down a little bit, it's still kind of loud. Back in the day, I had the main game, of course, and then I also had Marine Mania, which was the basically SeaWorld kite expansion, and then I had the Extinct Animals one. Okay, there we go. I think it's the first time I played this on this machine, so that's quite cool. We'll just do a free-form game for now. That's fine. Alright, so that music will quiet down in a minute. So, first of all, let's make sure our zoo is closed so people don't start coming in. I don't know why it's not like that by default, but... Okay, so this is a little simple game we'll put together here. So, usually I like to start off with an ATM, just in case they need it. Bathroom, of course, would be handy. How do you rotate? How do you rotate? Oh, you click and drag it. Cool. Didn't mean to put it there. Guess I'll have to place it again. Alright, there we go. The restroom. We'll put a extinct research lab, I guess. Basically, your employees can find, or you can find fossils, and you can make new animals, basically, so, or new dinosaurs, I guess. So that's kind of cool. Alright, there we go. Perfect. We need a place to eat, so let's find a restaurant. Here's a restaurant. Okay, put it there. We'll put it here. Right here at the entrance. Okay, awesome. So now I guess we'll make our first exhibit. So what I usually do is, it's just what I've always done. I usually combine this area, kind of take these out, and kind of make this into my first exhibit. So let's do that. So I will take out all these extra, fix that in a minute. Okay, let's fix that. Okay, so usually I start with something like flamingos or something along those lines. So let's see what we want to start with. But since we're doing extinct animals, let's stick to that. So we filter this by extinct animals. I mentioned flamingos, so let's do a dodo exhibit. So first what you have to do is you have to make a enclosure for them. So, where is it? Is it under animals maybe? Nope. Nope, not landscaping. How do you do this again? Oh, there we go. Okay, fences. Alright, so since it's extinct animals, we need an electric fence. Just click and drag to make an exhibit here. Alright, there we go. And then you have to make one of them a gate so you can let the employees in. So we'll do that. We'll make that one a gate. And speaking of employees, we need to add some, I guess. So let's do an educator. Why not? An entertainer. Zookeeper, a couple of them. Maintenance worker. And we need a building for them to live in. So there we go. We'll put a few benches for the guests to sit down at. Okay. A few trash cans as well. And put one of these things so that the educator can teach about the animal. That's actually a donation box, but I can do educating. Where is it? Where is the educating podium? Forget it. I can't even find it right now. But it's just a quick little game anyway, so yep. So let's go ahead and put our dodos. But first, we have to find out what climate they like. So we'll click on dodo. And here it says they like tropical rainforest. So let's do that. So we can go here to tropical rainforest. And let's turn on rocks and plants. We don't need trees, that'll get in the way, but we'll do. Yep. See, it'll kind of paint it in here. I heard they were making a new Zoo Tycoon actually for PC, so I'm very much excited about that. Alright, so that's good enough for that. Now let's give it some stuff to do. Give it some rocks, I guess. Tar pit. And that's good for that. Let's add some shelter. Okay, that's fine. And we need some food and water, so and some water. Okay, that's fine. So let's start out with a male and a female. Should be good. Not that. Where was the data? Oh, we turned off our filter. That's why I wasn't showing up. Okay. There we go, data. So we'll start with a male and female. So let's do that, and that should be good. So, and they will eventually have babies on their own, so that's kind of cool. So eventually we'll have more, so I figure if we start with 2, that should be good enough. And then we can go and open our park, I guess. With our one exhibit. See if anybody is interested. And you can actually play Zookeeper as well, so if you click on this button here, you can actually go in and, like I said, pretend to be a zookeeper. So you can go in, you can refill the food, you can clean up poop, etc. So that's kind of neat. Let's get out of that for now. See if I can demonstrate this extinct. Oh, I can't because I need fossils, so never mind. I won't be able to show that off, but anyway. Yep, so looks like some people are coming. Set our It's gonna make time faster. I can't remember how to do that though. Oh well, that's fine. See how they're doing. Oh, they're doing alright. Look pretty happy. Yep, see, he's very happy. You could name him if you want. I just call him Dodo 1 and Dodo 2 right now. It's kind of funny, there's actually an option to release to wild. So technically, I can release these wild extinct animals into the wild, and I guess that makes me a good person for recreating an extinct species. So yeah, that's kind of neat. He's like in his shelter there. Let's see if anyone comes over to look. Yep, looks like this guy is interested. Those graphics, though, they look like Sims 1 quality. Much better than the original Zoo Tycoon, obviously. I never played Zoo Tycoon 1, but it was basically a lot more two-dimensional than this. Yep, so he's watching the dodos there. Alright, so that's enough of that. I could play a lot longer, but I won't bore you guys with that. Alright, well I guess that's about it, guys. Like I said, I may make a more in-depth gameplay video later for those that are interested, but for now I just kind of wanted to show off the machine and kind of what it could do. So, thank you guys for watching, and more videos coming very soon. See you guys later. Bye.